Hi YouTube, welcome back. I hope that you're all keeping well. Now in today's video we're going to look at the property cycle and we're going to unlock the myths that surround the property cycle. I'm going to be giving my predictions towards the end of the video of where I think we're currently sitting within the property cycle. So let's get started. Now guys, if you're not already subscribing to my channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe to these videos to find out more. Make sure you hit the little bell icon and get yourself signed up to the property coach. So let's get started. What is the property cycle and what is it all about? Well, when I start talking about the property cycle, I'm talking about the property cycle within the UK that repeats itself time and time again. Now the property cycle is a series of events based on historical facts and patterns that keep repeating themselves over and over again, and this is what we call the property cycle. Now if you're purchasing property or you're a property investor, it always pays to monitor the property cycle so you know whereabouts we sit within the property cycle so you don't get stung down the line. Now the property cycle is nothing new. We've had countless episodes of the property cycle that date back hundreds of years, literally hundreds of years, and they have been recorded from the start. Now the start of the property cycle is commonly called the recovery phase. This is where we've just had a major dip within the property market and we've hit rock bottom. So the property prices have all crashed and gone right the way to the bottom. This is the start of the property cycle. Now at this stage, property prices ever so slowly start to creep up in price, and this is where you'll see an explosion of professional property investors returning to the market and purchasing all of the stock at great discounted prices. Now more millionaires are made at this stage in the property cycle than any other stage, and the demand for property during this period is at its lowest, and everybody else is still scared from the recent crash. So it's only mainly property investors who are purchasing properties. Property investors now enter the market and start snapping up this cheap stock, so houses at a discounted rate. And what happens there, this creates a little surge of buying within the market, and it's basically slowly adding fuel to the property market, and this slowly starts increasing the prices ever so slightly, and it gets the wheels turning for the property market to start picking up again. Now it normally takes a couple of years, and after a couple of years what we have then is a phase called the boom phase. This is when the property market starts picking up pace and property prices start rising quickly than any other time, and this is when general buyers start returning back to the market. Now generally during this phase the banks will have recovered from the crash and they'll be happy to start lending again, and this will fuel even further growth to the property market. The phase what comes next is called the mania phase. You'll start seeing property for sale signs literally everywhere. The telly will be full of adverts from Zoopla, from Rightmove, along with all these new up and coming property estate agents such as Purple Bricks and Strike and stuff like that. And the banks are going to start advertising very good mortgage deals as well. They're going to start advertising mortgage deals to first time buyers. You're going to be able to put 5% deposit down on properties. You're going to start seeing help to buy schemes popping up all over the place. You're also going to see a lot of new build developments going on all over the place in all different areas, and you'll start to notice within the city centres lots of cranes, lots of development, loads of money being flooded into these city centres. And at this time the market is going to be very buoyant. Property investors looking for a typical buy-to-let properties and flips are going to be gradually squeezed out of the market because the deals are not stacking up anymore. property prices are getting really high and the return on investment in purchasing these properties is getting very low. So you'll start to see professional investors really slowing down on purchasing properties. Now it's great news in this phase if you're a big time property developer and you've got 100 properties just about to come to the market, because you know they're going to sell like hotcakes, and 9 times out of 10 they're going to be going above and beyond the asking price of those properties. So after this stage, this is the crash phase. So what you'll start to see happening now is the banks will have suddenly spent all of their money, they'll have lent it all out to buyers, and they're going to start tightening up the criteria on securing loans from them, such as mortgages. So in turn, what happens is the market starts slowing down a little bit. Property prices will slowly begin to fall as the demand for the properties has suddenly stopped. Now this phase typically lasts around 2 years, and then what happens is we have a big crash and we go back to the beginning, and this is where the professional investors start returning to the market and banks start lending again. But typically banks are going to want bigger deposits. You won't see any 5% deposits anymore. Banks are going to be wanting like a 40% deposit to purchase properties and stuff like that. So this is where savvy investors make all the money. They go around snapping up all of these cheap properties and they start the cycle all over again. So this frenzy of property investors snapping up cheap stock is what kickstarts the property cycle all over again. Now, towards the end of this video now, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to give my prediction to where I think we are currently sitting in the property market right now in 2022. So here is where I think we are currently sitting in today's property market right now at the start of 2022. These are my predictions. Now, looking back at the way the cycle normally works, I think right now we are towards the end of the boom cycle and soon to be entering the mania cycle. And why do I think this? Well, basically I am purchasing property on a regular basis, and I also monitor the property market, and right now properties are selling above the general asking price. The demands are very high. The banks are also offering great mortgage deals. They're offering brilliant mortgage terms. The demand for properties is really high. There are new builds getting built everywhere. There are cranes up in the city centres. The city centres are having heavily invested. There's a lot of development going on. So that is my prediction of where we are currently sitting. Now, what does this mean for you? So myself as a property developer, if I was to go out there and purchase a property right now, depending on what strategy you're going to use is to what it's going to implement to you. If you're looking to do a flip, so you're going to purchase a property, you're going to add value and you're looking to sell it on, my advice would be to get in and get out as quickly as possible. Now, if you're buying properties to hold, such as properties for buy to let or serviced accommodation properties, or you might be purchasing HMOs, as long as you're not intending to sell that property within the next couple of years, it doesn't really matter if we go into a crash or have a dip, because you've got a long-term hold strategy and you're going to have rental money coming in from that property throughout the market crash anyway. So it ain't going to affect you, if you know what I mean. So I hope that you've all enjoyed this video, guys, and please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel for all your weekly property investing hints and tips. Now, I've been James Bennett. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all soon.